Welcome to Champlin Park High School. A spot in the state Class 4A boys basketball tournament is on the line tonight. It's the Section 5 championship between number 2 seed Maple Grove and number 1 seed Champlin Park. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, this is a new thing. Not at a neutral site. We've been at Rogers for so many years for this section final, but this year at home sites, and the Rebels got the number 1 seed. They get their home court.
Yeah, and you can go back and forth on whether or not that neutral site. It's kind of fun, but I like that you reward it to the team that maybe has had the better year overall, right? Who won the conference. They've earned the right to have this home game at Champlin Park. They split the season series during the season. Tonight's going to be just a close game, a wonderful game, and anytime it's one and done, I mean, there's nothing better than that.
Both of these teams, as you maybe would expect, had a little bit of difficulty in the semifinal round. Maple Grove held off Park Center, the defending champ, beat them by 4, and Champlin Park struggled a bit against Mounds View too, but I think that was a good wake-up call for them.
You want close games at this time of year. You want situational basketball, and you want to advance, but you also want to have something that you can work on as a team, right? And Mounds View, that game was a lot closer than a lot of people thought, and I knew Park Center, having most of their guys back now, they were going to be a challenge, but they both won, and they're here tonight. And so what do you do on how do you capitalize on those mistakes, and how do you, force 32 minutes, 36 minutes, how do you just play the best basketball of the year and get to the state tournament? That's the goal every team has to start the year.
Let's talk key players to look for in tonight's game. They've been leaders for their teams all season long, starting with Maple Grove and Keegan Harney. He's a guy who is looked at to handle the ball an awful lot, but also looked to be their top scorer.
It's really a dual role. He has to handle the pressure, not turn the ball over, but they're best when he's hitting shots from the outside. He had a game earlier this year, Jay, where he had 10 three-pointers. He scored a lot of points. He's been a consistent shooter. They're going to need him. He scored 29 in that game, that loss earlier against Champlin Park. They might need that. They might even need a little bit more on that tonight. So he's got to be have a great performance, and he's got to shoot the ball well tonight.
And for Champlin Park, what a season it's been for Tyler Wagner. He had a 60-point game, and then he also had a 40-point game the last time around against Maple Grove. If you lose track of him in any way, shape, or form, he'll burn you.
Yeah, and Mr. Basketball finalist. He had a great summer AAU last year, hearing from Division I schools, and he's a great scorer, and he's back at Champlin Park where I don't care what level against who, you score 60 points in a game, you know how to put the ball in the basket, and he can do it. He can do it from the outside. He's a great shooter, but he's added really getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line, and he's very athletic. He can finish with a dunk right on top of you. So he's at all 3 levels. He can score. Maple Grove going to have that awareness on him tonight.
I think a little bit of a contrast with these teams, Ryan. I think if you look at the team that's a better scoring team overall, it's probably Champlin Park. If you look at a team that's a little more physical and maybe a little better defensively, it'd be Maple Grove. So who can dictate what kind of game it is going to matter, too.
Well, and also, too, there's nerves tonight, right? It's seniors. This could be your last game. You don't want that to happen. There's going to be a great crowd. CCX is here doing the game. Like, this is a big atmosphere. So who comes out and just plays basketball? Who settles down? Who gets that early lead? When you look at the 2 previous games, Maple Grove held them in their 50s the first time. Champlin Park got into the mid-70s the second time. So physicality, rebounding, that's Maple Grove's strength. Champlin Park wants to get out, get that score into the 70s and 80s. So looking at the score at halftime might give us a good idea who's going to win this game.
All right, should be an interesting contest here tonight. Champlin Park and Maple Grove meet for the Section 5 4A title. It's up next on CCX. Bit of a late arriving crowd, but it's filling up nicely here at Champlin Park. And again, Noka Hennepin Schools, which Champlin Park is a part of, are on spring break. So we were kind of wondering, would it limit the crowd? But we can see there definitely are people coming in, and we're going to have Pretty good crowd after all here tonight for this section final. Here's a look at how things have shaped up in this tournament so far. No real upsets to speak of, although as we said, a couple of really good semifinal matchups in the 1-4 game and the 2-3 game. And we do get the top 2 seeds into the final, which seems to be the case in quite a few of the sections so far in 4A basketball. We get set for the tip-off. Nathan Ramatka against Preston Tilke. Tilke controls the tip. Rebels have first possession, and we are underway as Kyler Poost brings it to the front court. And we're going to get a trip called there on the Crimson as Keegan Harney. There's a look at the starters. Maple Grove on the left and Champlin Park on the right. Kind of an excuse me foul there, but one that had to be called, I guess, when you get tripped up like that.
Well, I think they caught Maple Grove off guard there. It looked like they were going to run a dribble handoff, kept it.
There's Soren Berman with the steal. And then Knutson leaving it. Babakar and to the reverse layup.
Nice, love that. Great defense. You just jump in midair, grab that inbounds pass right out of it, and he made a smart play, picked his dribble up, and a great finish there. Good start for Maple Grove.
And getting the assignment on Wagner to begin the night. They'll use a few different guys on him. Tilke driving at baseline, back across to Poost from the wing, and that's good for 3.
That's a big, big basket, big start. Getting that first basket to go in, that first perimeter jump shot to go down too. Good start.
Poost on Harney here as Ramatka comes out to set a screen for him. Walter jumps out on him. Berman, they'll dare him to shoot, and he'll take it from the wing, and he hits.
Wow. Yeah, only average, just at his season average now at 3.4 points per game, but wow. That's big. That takes guts, too, on the road, knocking it down.
Wagner getting the handoff, and that one is good for 3.
It's just so tough, and you can see he did not have a lot of space. He's got Ann on him, who's got great length, too. It didn't matter. Quick release, buries it.
Rebels up 6-5. A pair of made threes for them, and one made 3 already for Maple Grove as well. The shooting has been good early on. Berman, can he do it again? This time short, and Wagner grabs the rebound.
Oh, his shooting percentage was at 100% there. I didn't think we were going to carry that over.
Wagner is going to stop and rip it again, and he hits.
Wow. Again, I mean, that wasn't an open look. That quick release. I love how he goes from slow into the release before the defender, who's in a great position, can even get a hand up.
And a reach-in foul here going against the Rebels. This will be on Jallo. Here's another look as he just kind of lulls him a little bit with the between-the-legs dribble.
Great scorers, it's a change of pace, right? It's how you use your body, your speed, and you can see that slow dribble, boom, right into it. And as a defender, I think if you're going to err on something, you err on forcing him going to the basket.
Harney to Berman and back across. Henry Knutson, an open look, and that's good for 3.
Just great basketball right there. Great drive, great kick, and definitely everyone on this Maple Grove team is capable of knocking that shot down.
Poost into the lane over for Jello. Nice block by Knutson. Crimson running it back. Knutson back out. Keegan Harney, a shot fake. He'll step in from 15, and he hits.
Great pace, and he can shoot from beyond the 3, and you see that shot fake, the lost art of the shot fake, and into a mid-range. Great decision and shooting at a really high percentage of the Crimson.
Well, Nick Schroeder, Maple Grove coach, said as Wagner firing this one off target. He said last time we played them, we shot terribly, and so far so good, though, in that aspect for them tonight. And trying to go to Berman, but there's Walter with the steal.
And that's where you'd like to see him just go up and score that one with that great length.
Great feed inside. Walter finding Jallo for 2.
And Jallo that whole time had sealed that position down there. Great job. That's scoring before you get the basketball. All you had to do is catch and turn.
Rebels by 1. Good offensive start for both teams. Here's Babakar and he hits a 3.
Well, if Coach Schroeder was concerned about their shooting percentage tonight, whatever he said to them, it's working. They're shooting the heck out of the basketball.
Well, you get the feeling both teams must have had good warm-ups because everybody's hitting. Jallo lost the handle a bit, but he gets it back and scores.
I'm surprised that wasn't called because he advanced while that ball was kind of being bobbled. A lot of times you'll see him call that travel, but he was able to regroup, and you played through the whistle, no whistle.
Knutson's pass denied by Walter, but he'll get it right back. Ramatka coming out to set a high screen here. He had a really nice game against Park Center. Here's Ann again from the wing. Not this time. Knutson got up, and it's out off of Tilke of Champlin Park as Knutson fought for that rebound. He didn't get it clean, but they'll get the ball because of it. There's Nick Schroeder, got his 300th career win in that Park Center game the other night.
15th year. It's unbelievable. He's really just done a heck of a job building a sustainable, great program.
Here's Keegan Harney from long range. That one's short, and if my math holds out, that's averaging in a nice even 20 wins a year.
Yeah, consistent, right? Even he's had great talent. Good call. He's had some great talent over the years, some really, really high-level players, and he's had years where they didn't have a ton of talent. It didn't seem to matter. He seemed to always get that Maple Grove team to at least to the conference semi or section semis or finals, and like you said, 20 wins almost automatically.
Harney giving it up. Berman slipped a little bit as he tried to go. Poos getting up into him. Picks up the dribble and had to get rid of it there.
Good intensity here defensively, kind of picking that energy up.
Keegan Harney, a step back, and he hits. It's a long two. Boy, Tilke really contested that one. That was a hard shot.
I was going to say, there's been 4 or 5 shots already that I don't know how you could defend it any better. There's a steal, and Harney. Oh, whoa, my.
Tilke swats that one off the backboard.
Holy buckets.
Jallow, and that one blocked by Knutson, and the follow-up is no good. We've had some good blocks already in this one.
Wow.
Harney back. They'll keep it rotating around to Ann. Looks to drive it. And banks it home. Tough shot over Wagner there.
What I love there is he used that length and that big step. You saw him take that extra step and put that ball as high and as far up as he could, and his length allowed him to get that shot off. Again, good defense, just a great offensive shot.
4-point lead for Maple Grove. Tilke will shoot a 3. That one is short. Both teams slowing down their pace just a little bit from that hot start shooting.
Well, you got to think this favors Champlin Park a little bit with this pace, right? But Maple Grove showing they have the firepower to keep up with it. And
backing it out as they balance the floor here, looking to drive it. Oh, it looked like he had a shot, and he threw it toward Ramatka, and Wagner almost intercepted. Watch this first block by Tilke.
And that's why I think Harney's got to finish on the reverse there. And then how about that, coming right back, Knutson gets up and gets a piece of that against the glass. But yeah, Tilke, that's just great effort and athleticism running that down.
It kind of looked like he was offended that they stole the ball from his team, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Aaron Klepner, former Rebels player and 4th season as head coach. Is by far the best year they've had in that stretch. Yeah. A real young team a couple of years ago, and they've grown into this kind of record. Nice steal there by Poost.
Yeah, ranked number 7 in the state of Minnesota. They've had just an excellent year at 23-4.
Open look for Walter, and that's good for 3.
Yeah, and that's a big one too. He's that kind of that 3rd scorer, if you will, 4th scorer, averaging just under 9 points. Only a sophomore, but he's got good length. And that's got to be a big confidence boost, knocking down your first 3.
And across to Harney. And then deflected as they tried to go back to Ann. Wagner up with it now. He'll look to attack off the glass, and good.
Yeah, and you can see he's got that good height at 6'6". Once he gets down there, he's got the strength, athleticism to be able to finish. And he's got 8 points after hitting those 2 threes early on.
Ramatka the drive, and he finishes. He has become a much better offensive player. Now all 5 starters have scored for the Crimson.
Well, he drives at you hard. You probably want to get out of the way of that.
Christian Plunkett off the bench, knocking one down from 3. Boy, the threes are raining down here tonight.
And not just from the stars. Some of those secondary players, right, coming in and hitting big-time shots. That's how you get high energy, when you got guys giving you great contributions.
Berman across. Ramatka powers it up and in, and 1.
He plays basketball like football, doesn't he? He's got that great body, but when he gets down there, as far as his height at, 6'4", 6'5", he plays so big. Look at him use that shoulder, and you can't really contest it because he's so wide and so strong. Great finish. You can tell he's fired up.
Walter picking up the foul for Champlin Park. And I was talking to Coach Schroeder. I feel like Ramadka's gotten better at not fouling as much, too. I mean, sometimes for those football guys, it's hard to kind of slow it down, and you really love to bang inside, but he's some of the games I've seen down the stretch, he's done a lot better job of being able to stay in the game.
Well, you got Bo Draheim in, another big football player, physical and strong and tough, too. Undersized, but plays a lot taller than he is.
And Caden Harney also in number 11, the quarterback for the Crimson football team. Here's his brother Keegan all the way for the layup.
And just a little subtle move. He kind of looked like he was going to dish that out to the three-point line, and it froze that defender. He was able to scoop. Great angle, great finish.
Boy, like Wagner, those guys, earlier in their careers, they were kind of more jump shooters, but you can just see their evolution in getting to the basket, too. That might be an offensive foul, and it is. Walter will be picking up his second. I think that was a good call.
And big, because that would have been the second on Keegan Harney, too. So either way that one went, that was a big call.
Another look. Watch him lead with this right arm.
Yeah, again, like we always say, anytime that arm extends or that shoulder drops, easy call for the referees.
Peerless Davis, 21 in for Champlin Park, as is Musa Dukali, number 10. Draheim, who Ryan talked about with the ball right there, he had some key contributions against Park Center the other night. He just gave him a shot in the arm coming off the bench.
And capable of scoring, too. He can get the ball. He's such a good offensive rebounder, and he just makes good plays, smart plays.
That time too hard off the glass, though, and tipped over to Davis, and now Wagner has it. Crimson by 2. Been a good offensive start for both. Here's Wagner driving. That'll be a block. Ramadka will pick it up.
And you can tell that must have been a point of emphasis for the Crimson, is that when he does put the ball on the floor, let's get that rotation, see if we can get some charges on him. Great move there. Yeah, I think still sliding maybe just a little bit. He was close.
Wagner to the free throw line, and the point totals he's been able to rack up, greatly aided by being an excellent free throw shooter, too. He gets to the line a lot, and he makes a lot.
To get to 60 points in high school, you probably have to hit a number of threes, but to your point, you have to be able to get to the free throw line and get those points.
Yeah, I'm going by memory here, but Aaron Klepner told me in that game he was something like 24 for 26 from the line or something crazy like that. Wagner makes a pair right there, and we are even at 23, and now in is Gavin Elmquist, number 34 for Maple Grove. The pace we were at the beginning, too, you kind of knew these both teams were going to have to get into the bench.
And again, those shots they were making were contested, tough shots, and those ones usually are hard to sustain for a full game or even a full half.
Elmquist picks up the dribble, now finds Draheim looking to attack, and he scores plus a foul. He looked like he was ready to just take it right to the rim and go right through Davis there.
Yeah, and Coach Klebner is saying, hey, what about that? Was just called on us on the other end. There was a little bit of that extension, but they didn't call that. Yeah, you can see he's pointing down there. Let's see. Yeah.
I think he has an argument there. And Draheim completes the three-point play.
And to make it worse is then you get a foul called on you for the three-point play too. So that's a tough one. But again, that physicality and that aggressiveness just so valuable.
Bobbled just a bit, but still able to make it as Dukali.
The freshman coming in and hitting a big shot. Champlin Park shooting the heck out of the basketball.
Good D there as they cut off Harney. Now Caden Harney will shoot it from the wing, no good. Wagner tipped it, but Elmquist able to run it down. Now Draheim trying to attack again. Oh, it looked like he might have been fouled there, but he got the previous call, did not get that one. And, pass deflected, but made it there. Now Wagner has Keegan Harney on him. He's going to let that one fly, and he hits again.
Yeah, you almost got to get a hand in that pocket and not even allow him. Anytime he's pivoting you, he's trying to just create enough space to get that quick release off. And you can see it's a deadly shot from out there. His third three already of the night.
You know, most teams, most players they face are going to say, I'll let you have that one if you can make it. But
great shooters.
Unfortunately for them, Tyler Wagner can make that.
And so here's the question is, do you run a second guy at him, or do you just say, you know what, I'm going to get all over him and force him to drive, where he's also very effective at it. So it's kind of like Do you just say, we're going to just try to take the ball out of his hands and make somebody else beat us? Or do you continue to say, hey, if you can make tough shots like that, it's your night? That's always the chess game that's going on.
The good news for Maple Grove is they were hitting a lot of shots early, but I kind of agree with what you said, that overall this kind of scoring pace favors Champlin Park. And whether Maple Grove can keep up what they've done offensively throughout the whole night remains to be seen. I'm not saying they can't, but...
Well, and something else to think about when you're playing a really great scorer like Tyler Wagner is changing things up. Going, do a box and one for this possession, a zone on this possession, back to man-to-man. You want to get a guy like that as much as you can out of rhythm. And sometimes just changing things up can do that a little bit.
Cross to Ann here as he's forced way out high. Caden Harney giving it up. Elmquist an open look, and he hits.
Great basketball right there. The quarterback making a great pass, threw the defender and knocked it down. Elmquist. So guys with not great scoring averages really contributing on both teams.
Telke, Wagner intercepted that when it was meant for Plunkett. Steps left with it and fires and hits again. Now this, you see why he got 40 against them last time around, right?
Now you see why he scored 60 too. I mean, that's just beautiful one-on-one basketball. And it's such a reaction when a guy, cuts like that. You got to backpedal, and that he's already stepping back, creating that space. Really impressive.
Caden Harney against the quarterback of the Rebels in the fall, Preston Tilkey. Under 7 minutes to go in a great first half. Elmquist slipped and traveled. Planted that foot. I'm glad to see he's back up and didn't turn an ankle or anything there.
Yeah.
But here's a look at Wagner.
And see, the mistake there, and it's hard to call it a mistake because it's natural, is that jab for you to backpedal. What you have to do is crowd his body and say, if he goes by me, he goes by me, but I'm not allowing him to shoot a three-pointer. He's in such a great rhythm.
Boost back in there and brings the ball to the front court for the Rebels here. Champlin Park by 3. It's been a back and forth first half. Good start shooting for both teams. Wagner will let it rip again. That one is short. Little heat check.
And it's one of those, as a coach, you're like, that not a good shot, but for him, and he's earned the right to take that shot.
Harney over to Ramadka. Down the baseline he goes.
And that's their scoring, getting into the paint, using their physicality, getting an easy bucket.
Good use of his body there to protect the ball, too. Tilkey wants to drive it at Ramadka. Now he'll kick it back out. And miss there, but Tilkey up high for the rebound. Wagner looking to attack. Pretty good D that time.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do, almost force him to try to drive.
Rotated back around. Dukley missing. There's Wagner up for the rebound and the putback.
And those are the buckets that'll kill you, right? You work so hard on taking away his primary weapon, which is his shot, and then he beats you to the offensive glass.
Tilkey and Wagner both pretty physical and pretty good on the glass when they get to the offensive board there. Knudsen had a chance for an offensive rebound there. It's going to be out off of him, though. It'll be Champlin Park ball.
And even though that was a miss, that's a good shot. Good look, clean look by Keegan.
It's going to be Maple Grove ball, I guess. I thought he'd signaled the other way.
And I thought that was off of Maple Grove as well.
Crimson down by 3. Ramadka handing it over to Knudsen. Keegan Harney from the top. Now to Caden Harney down the baseline. Nice. Strong attack, and he's fouled.
Love it. Don't settle for a 3. Get to the basket. Go strong. And like we always talk about, Jay, if you go strong like that, you put that pressure on the referee. Great move.
Dukley thought he was in good position there, as did his coach, but Harney
go to the line. You just don't see it anymore. Remember when in the old days, Jay, when player would follow you, they just raise their hand. I don't think we ever see anybody happy when a foul gets called on them or agreeing with it.
First free throw good, and second as well for Caden Harney, and now Maple Grove down by 1. A little over 5 to go in this first half, and plenty of offense both ways here so far. You're happy when your own team's doing it. You wish that at the other end it wasn't happening that way, but that's what we're seeing so far. Baseline drive here, and shot missed there. Dukley contested there. The young guy got inside but couldn't quite finish.
Great move, just a little too strong.
And looking to drive it here. Wagner defending him. Keegan Harney will shoot the long three. That one's wide left. Tilke handing off to Poost. Shovels it back to Tilke. Spin move there on Knudsen, and he hits.
Man. Again, just great offense, but really good defense too. But you just make tough shots. Tilke, a really good athlete. You mentioned quarterback. You saw the block earlier. That time, just a beautiful spin move into the jump shot.
Nice dish over to Ramadka. This time Jallo gets him though. Preston Tilke running it back. Got it back after his pass was deflected. And he has back-to-back hoops for the Rebels. They're up 5. And I thought he might have traveled there, but play goes on.
You see the pace starting to speed up and pick up a little bit.
Here's Wagner missing, but the putback is good by Jallo. Champlin Park up 7 as the Crimson call a timeout. Rebels fans are fired up.
How about Jallo having a big game? Dukley having a big game tonight. Tyler Wagner going hard to the basket, and even though he missed, he drew 3 defenders on him and on that shot attempt, and that allowed Jallo to get the easy layup. See that? No one. Great tip, easy tip.
Well, and I think you like, obviously you want to see shots go in, but just the way the guys have stepped up and played with confidence pretty much. And then we're seeing that from a lot of different guys too. Like you said, Elmquist isn't like a main scoring threat usually, but he took his opportunity.
Berman hit one.
Yep. And Plunkett and Dukley off the bench.
Walter hit it, so everyone's come to play tonight. And that's what you want in a big game like this. Everyone's showing up, everyone playing well. But you look at, we talked about pace of play, Jay. I mean, Champlin Park already at 40 with 3:38 still left in the first half. Remember when Maple Grove beat them that earlier in the year, they held them to 63 points.
Yeah, the pace is for much more than that right now.
And you wonder, is Maple Grove going to maybe change that? Are they going to deliberately slow down on offense, or do they want this pace and feel like they can, continue to score and shoot and play this way?
Crimson basketball here. They have hit a bit of a rut, and Champlin Park has continued to score, so the Rebels now their biggest lead at 7. Ramadka looking to drive it right at Jallo. Oh, that one's in and out, though, and then it goes out of bounds off Jallo, though, so it will be Crimson ball.
And again, every time that Ramadka's got it down there, he's gotten what he wants out of it, using that big, strong body. That time just a little too tough off the backboard.
Yeah, I love everything about that except for that it didn't quite go in. He did a good job again of playing under control, not running the guy over.
All that jelly, Jay, and no toast.
Berman looking to turn the corner, and a tough shot there.
Yeah. And he kind of slowed down right before he shot it, and that allowed Tilke, I think, in his length to kind of go by that and able to hit that shot. That was not easy.
Poost rifling it, but it's intercepted by Keegan Harney.
Yeah, good decision that time by Harney. He didn't really have the numbers. Instead of forcing something quick, slow it down, let's get into our stuff, get a good shot.
Under 3 minutes to go first half. Champlin Park by 5. Keegan Harney back out to Berman. Skip pass to Ann as they gambled, and he hits. 4th basket for Babakar Ann. He has 10 points.
Yeah, he stepped up tonight. He's a great all-around player, scoring at right around 15. Then tonight on pace for more than that, and they need it.
Plunkett shooting it up. That's a 2. He had a foot on the line, but his second bucket, he's come in, made some good contributions. And by the way, a nice job by his dad, Demond, the Rebels assistant on the national anthem before the game too. What a great way to start. Here's Ann floating across the middle and scores.
If he can go to his right and elevate like that and get that shot, there's very few people with his length and athleticism that can contest that.
I love that shot, but at the same time, I think when he gets a little stronger, that might be a dunk. As he goes
nice
and
play.
leaves it off for Knutson.
And you love that, too, unselfishness. We talked, Babacar passed up some earlier shots, and you love that. He could have tried to score that. Instead, just made a great play, and we're back to tied up here. What a run and a couple of big plays by Ann.
Maple Grove's fans turn to cheer. Jallo thought he was fouled there, but here come the Crimson, a chance to retake the lead. Back across, Keegan Harney steps around and scores with the layup there. Rebels wanted to travel, but they didn't get it. 44-42, Maple Grove. Tilke getting a high screen there, now gives it to Wagner. Under a minute to go now in the first half. Maple Grove has surged into the lead again by 2. So they're down 7 not long ago. Wagner firing from the top of the key, no good, but it's out to Poost. Rebels will get another crack at it. Poost driving at baseline, flipping it up, and in and out. Jallo the board. Back out to Preston Tilke. Defender falls, so he shoots it up, no good. Ramadka able to corral the rebound. Crimson could play for the last shot here. 25 seconds to go, they lead by 2. Ryan will be hearing from the coaches at halftime. See what Maple Grove has in mind here. They throw a double at Harney, so he gets it to Berman way across. Knutson and Ann got bunched up. Now they back off of Knutson. Berman a shot fake, drives it, and knocked away by Tilke. And the half will come to an end. No foul on that one, just out of bounds. They don't really get a good clean look at it. So excellent first half here. Maple Grove had the lead early, and now they take the lead late again with a good surge to end that half and go up by a score of 44-42 at the break. Again, maybe the scoring pace favoring the Rebels a little bit, even though they are down right now, but we'll see how that plays out in the second half. And I guess the good news is not a lot of foul trouble for either team really either to speak of in that first half. Let's go down to Ryan now with Coach Nick Schroeder of Maple Grove.
Hey, Coach, I mean, that was, as a viewer, it was one of the funnest, exciting, most entertaining first halves I've watched. As a coach, what did you think?
Well, it's going to be nice to see who wants to play defense, right? Both teams are playing really well offensively, sharing the ball, making great shots. Whatever team sits down and plays defense in the second half is going to win this thing.
We were talking about pace. We said you guys are a more physical team, definitely. If it got into the 80s or the 90s, it favors them. Do you feel like you can win continuing to play at that pace?
I think we can play that way. It's not we don't want to play that way, but we can. We showed that in the first half, but I think we want to slow the game down a little bit more. We want to own our own paint a little bit better than we did in the first half. I like what we're doing offensively. We're unselfish. We're sharing it, but we got to sit down and guard.
Are you having fun?
Oh, man, this is great.
Mom and Dad in Colorado watching. Any messages to them?
I love you, Mom and Dad.
All right, good luck, Coach. Back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Schroeder. We'll hear from Aaron Klepner coming back into half number 2. It's been everything as good as advertised so far. Maple Grove 44, Champlin Park 42. We'll have first half highlights and then more basketball coming up here. The Section 5 4A title game on CCX Sports.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back here to Champlin Park High School, Section 5 4A boys basketball final. Ryan is with Coach Aaron Klepner of Champlin Park.
Coach, we were talking during the game. We thought if the score was in the 80s, 90s, it's favored you and your pace. You had to like that there in the first half.
Absolutely, yep. Offensively, we did a good job. The ball got sticky at times, but we kind of wanted to turn it into a track meet, and it has been. Just on the defensive end, we can't stop anyone.
You had to love, too. You got a lot of big shots from a lot of people. Guys already at their season averages in the first half. Was that part of this tonight, getting everyone to really be involved offensively?
Absolutely. You know, Ty is kind of the catalyst. He gets it going. Once everyone is, paying attention to him, guys stepped up big and hit some big shots.
Last, I was going to ask you about Tyler Wagner. I mean, some of those shots, as a coach, do you ever find yourself like, oh, no, that's not good. Okay, that's a great shot. Good, because he can make those, right?
Yep. If it goes in, I don't say a word. If it doesn't go in, sometimes we have to have a conversation.
Well, have fun. Enjoy the second half. Thanks, Coach. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan. And Coach Klepner, 44-42 Maple Grove. A fantastic first half, really, for both teams. A lot of offense as we check out some highlights from that opening half. And these teams came out ready to shoot the ball, especially very early on. Abakar on driving baseline and gets the reverse layup there for the Crimson. Telke the drive, and he kicks it across, and Kyler Poost an open three. Guys were raining threes early in the game for both teams. Berman left open, so he is only too happy to stop and pop that one for the Crimson. Then watch Tyler Wagner, a little between the legs, shake and bake, and right up over and to bury it as he had another big first half, and answering with a three of his own as he had a good first half of the Crimson as well. Nice steal, but then look at the block by Preston Tilke coming back for the Rebels. Here's a block at the other end, though. Answering it was Henry Knudsen. And then Ramadka powering in to get an and one there as he goes right through Walter. Here's Wagner, another one.
So tough. Just, I mean, how can you play better defense?
Telke,
This was nice
spin move here and a little one-leg step back. And then a steal here by Ann.
Great pass.
Drops it off.
It's really high-level basketball, Jay.
And then a nice move by Keegan Harney. As you look at the scores so far, Ann leading the way for Maple Grove with 12 and Harney with 8. Wagner has 18 for Champlin Park. So now we get to see what kind of adjustments get made for the second half, Ryan, as both teams had a lot to like offensively, maybe not as much to like defensively.
And both of them said that. You heard Coach Klepner just say defensive. And Coach Schroeder, we got to play. Who's going to play defense? So, yeah, it's hard. Hey, when guys are making tough shots, when you're in their face and they're making step back threes, there's not a lot you can do, but you got to keep that intensity, keep making it hard. And you hope they tire out, or you hope that those shots just stop falling. But it's going to be a fun second half here.
I think Maple Grove's done a good job, too, of when they've gotten one-on-one matchups of being able to use those sometimes where if Champlin Park's defense is spread out. They're not necessarily all guys that you think about beating people one-on-one, but they've been able to do some of it. Here's Ramadka, jump hook.
And I think that was a very thought-out decision, and we're going to go down low. He's had success every time he's gotten able to get that ball on the block like that. It just, even if you know he's coming back to that shoulder, he's just so strong.
Tilke driving it at Ramadka, then whips it over to Poost. And it's good for three from the corner. Great assist there.
Yeah. Poost, another guy, giving him just big-time shots. They're getting it from everybody. What a pass that was.
Yeah, really good look across court there.
He must be a quarterback.
Yeah, I think so. Keegan Harney cut off. Knudsen down the baseline, and now Ann firing. And that's good.
And again, another great offense. You drive baseline. That guy helps, and you saw Babakar Ann kind of come in right behind him, trail him, wide open three. And again, just really high shooting percentages, both teams.
Boy, they got him back just in time down the stretch of the regular season. I don't know if they're in the section final without him. There's a great block again. Knudsen's third of the night. And will shoot it up from long range, and it's good.
He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Maple Grove back up by 7 now.
And he's tied Tyler Wagner with 18 points for game high. Already above his season average of 15, having a great game.
Out to Tilke and now Poost. Cut off, goes up and under, no good. A nice rebound by Keegan Harney.
You can get your point guard rebounding like that.
Knudsen to the trailer, Berman for the layup. And a timeout, Champlin Park. Crimson fired up, they're up 9.
And what I love there, Jay, is Berman caught that already on the run. So he had his momentum and that speed carrying his way to the basket, able to get a step. He put that ball way out in front of him to avoid getting it blocked.
So look at that long one from Ann as they were back off him there, and then, yeah, great.
You see him extend that out. He knew the block was coming from the behind him like that. Great basketball.
Boy, and they've done a good job of building confidence in some of the role player type guys too. Like, I mean, I'm sure Champlin Park's first guy on their list wasn't Soren Berman to defend, but he's proven if you leave him open or, you know, sag off a little bit or whatever, that he can burn you too.
And what it does is it opens up for your stars even more. When everyone's a threat and you have to defend everyone, now you got spacing. You can get those matchups that you talked about, those one-on-one matchups that they've taken advantage of. And I'll tell you what else, too. You want to go on, I mean, if you can do this kind of a run to start a half on the road, that is so huge because you take that crowd out a little bit. You get momentum on your side as opposed to trailing on the road is a much different thing. So really good first couple minutes here for the Crimson.
The good news if you're Champlin Park, though, is 9 points in a game like this isn't feel as big as maybe in some of those low-scoring slugfests.
The good news for Champlin Park is 9 points for Tyler Wagner could be 25 seconds. So absolutely, when you shoot the ball and you score as well as he does and they do, you're not out of anything.
Tilke giving it to Wagner. Harney cuts him off. He got it over to Jallo, though.
I didn't see how he could get that through there, but he kind of hung in the air and he waited, and you saw a little bit of an opening. Great bounce pass.
Lead is 7 for Maple Grove after that Mo Jallo hoop. Oh, Knutson missed somebody open there, Berman, but Berman driving and dishing. Here's Keegan Harney for 3.
It's just great offense. Berman having himself a really good game. I know he didn't score there, but again, drawing the defender, and that's where Champlin Park got to stay home.
Wagner short, Berman the rebound. He is really playing well. Back out to Harney. Harney, a little hesitation dribble and out of bounds. Rebels ball here down by 10, exactly 15 minutes to go in the second half. Poust looking to turn the corner, and Walter drifting along with him. He missed it. Jallo kept it alive, though. Here's Preston Tilke.
Oh, yeah, they had him. I was going to say.
Wagner will step left and shoot and make a 3.
Great alert by Champlin. They were a little late getting it to him, but they finally got it over to him. Little shot fake, let the defender fly by, sidestep, wide open 3, and you're almost shocked if he doesn't make that shot.
5 threes tonight for Tyler Wagner, 21 points. Harney cut off there by Walter. And Walter will be called for the foul. He didn't think so. That's going to be number 3 on Gavin Walter. We haven't had many fouls in this game. Knock on wood. I mean, but for Gavin, he'll pick that one up.
I feel like it's been pretty consistent, and definitely contact. But I don't know if he was fouling him. That was just mutual contact there. I would like to see that one go by.
To Ramadka inside, flipped it up and over Tilke, but missed.
And really the first time he hasn't gone up strong, too. A little finesse there. Looked like maybe he lost his balance.
Wagner missing that one. Tap back out, though, to Poust. That one's no good. Rebels all over the glass again, and Walter gets it. Tilke fakes the handoff. Knocked loose over to Poust. He's in a little bit of danger in the corner, but he gets it out. Tilke to Walter, drifting to the baseline, and he hits a 3.
3-point shooting, getting him right back into this game.
Now a 4-point lead. It was 10 not long ago, a couple of threes.
Well, like we talked about, it could be erased in a hurry.
Harney out of bounds again. Very similar play to last time. He was saying he was pushed, but
Yeah, it was a nice three over. Great pass, too. That baseline, Walter knocking it down. Yeah, it looked like those toes maybe on that out-of-bounds line.
Walter spinning away from Harney, and Knutson got a piece of that pass before it could reach Jello.
Yeah, Knutson with active hands, active arms, too. You talked about the number of blocks, but also getting deflections.
Caden Harney coming back in. Keegan Harney checks out. Champlin Park certainly not panicking when that Maple Grove lead grew to 10. Now down low to Wagner, no good, but he's fouled. And will be whistled for the foul. That is his second.
And just smart basketball, Jay. He was the inbounder, and he was getting ready to come off of a baseline screen to go out to the three-point line. It was being overplayed, so he backdoor cut. Just smart basketball and a heads-up play to draw that foul as well.
Wagner, as I said, an excellent free thrower, but did miss that one. Now, sometimes you have to use what the defense is doing against them. If they're overdoing any one little aspect. Second free throw is good for Tyler Wagner. 3-point game now. Crimson still leading, but Rebels putting together a run of 7-0. And back out to Knutson.
I like that matchup down there. I know they're trying to get it to Ramotka, but he's got size and strength down there.
And driving and was pushed. Wagner will be called for the foul. He hung in the air long enough. And actually, it's not Wagner. It'll be Poust that is called for the foul. Well, obviously should have been on Wagner, but.
They called that on Poust?
Well, that's what they put on the board. And yeah, it did look like the official was signaling for.
And not that Wagner would be in foul trouble. That'd only be his first. But yeah, that was, if there was a foul there, that was not on Poust.
And high arcing free throw hits another one there. So he goes to 20 points. 5-point lead now for Maple Grove. Plunkett back in the game now for Champlin Park. Walter turns the corner and then dishes back out. Plunkett will give it up to Wagner. Air ball there though, and then Jallo is fouled.
And I think Maple Grove got lucky on that one. They left Tyler Wagner to contest a shot. A good extra pass. Wagner with a good look. A little bit short, but nice job by Jallo there. Looking to get into double figures tonight. You know, you and I, Jay, talked pregame a little bit, and we're thinking maybe Maple Grove might have a big edge offensive rebounding tonight. Champlin Park's done a pretty nice job, at least in the second half here, of going after offensive rebounds, getting second chance opportunities.
Jacob Werbanek, another of those football guys coming in for Maple Grove, number 14. Knutson grabs the rebound off the missed free throw, so 1 for 2 for Mo Jallo. Caden Harney short with that one, and Poust with a nice rebound, and the Rebels looking to push it. Wagner will stop and fire, and it is good. He had an air ball last time. He wasn't going to again.
No, and wide open in transition like that, that is an ultimate awareness where number 2 is. And it starts when he crosses half court because he's got the range to hit that. Got to know where that is, where he is at all times.
Berman in and out on that three, over the back on Knutson, and the Rebels trending well right now. They're back to within 1, and they'll get the ball after that foul.
And you can see that no one within 4 or 5 feet when he catches it. An easy look, maybe one of his easiest shots tonight. And it's funny, this game is such a game of momentum, and you can just feel it when it starts to turn, and it's, how do you stop it? How do you turn it back into your favor? Right now, Champlin Park, remember just a couple of minutes ago, down 10. Now here with a chance to take the lead again.
And like you touched on earlier, I feel like there's Walter, a step back three, no good. Plunkett up high for the rebound and was fouled.
Offensive rebounds again, Champlin Park. Really crashing the glass. You shoot a lot of threes, you're going to have high, longer, weird rebounds, and they are going after it.
Like you were mentioning earlier, Ryan, I feel like being at home falling behind by that 10 isn't as, it didn't seem as bad as it would have been on the
If you're
road.
on the road, when you're facing the crowd, 100%.
Foul call win against Knutson of Maple Grove. Here's Poost. Plunkett kicks it to the corner to Walter, then back inside.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be an offensive foul on Walter.
I'm going to tell you that was really good offense right there, but that was spectacular defense by the Crimson. The rotations, the help that they did, and then drive baseline. Everyone rotated down. There was nowhere to go, and then a heads-up play, too, just stepping in there and taking it.
That's number 4 on Gavin Walter. We said it's been a largely foul-free night, but he's gotten himself into trouble.
And I know he's been really good when he's been in. He's kind of that other playmaker, that ball handler. So that's a big loss right now for the Rebels. Kind of a high-energy guy, plays defense too.
And kicking to the corner, Keegan Harney drives it and back out. Draheim will shoot that 3. It's a little bit short. Dukley the rebound. Rebels another chance to retake the lead here. Down by 1. A long 3 from Wagner. That one is short. Ramadka the rebound.
And that's a couple times a little bit longer. He's got to get more legs into it. And he's got that quick release, so it's sometimes harder to get the legs.
Caden Harney over to Draheim. Attacking.
Nice.
Spins it off the glass but missed. Thought that one was going to go.
And interesting, too, you see Harney now guarding Tyler Wagner. We've had Babakar and guarding him, too, so a little bit different. Not as much length, but maybe a little bit more strength and physicality.
Tries to get up into his body here as Wagner lost the dribble, and it's Keegan Harney with the steal. He'll go all the way, no good, but he was fouled.
And there it kind of paid off. You saw Caden Harney getting into the body a little bit of Tyler Wagner. Doesn't have the length, but the physicality, able to get that steal. His brother gets that ball, goes on the run, can't quite finish it. They're going to get 2 free throws. Slow the game down. You get to rest a little bit. Getting to the free throw line, especially when you got a lead on the road in a playoff game, such a valuable thing. And it stops their momentum. We just talked Champlin Park having the momentum, get to the foul line, it kind of squashes that.
Knutson back in for the Crimson. Keegan Harney, 12 points right now and looking to add a free throw here. Second one also good. I'm glad to see Keegan survive the dousing he got in our post game the other night as Crimson friends from school got him pretty good with the water bucket. Got me a little bit, but mostly Keegan.
During the interview?
Yeah. Deflected away by Caden Harney. Toki back in now for Champlin Park. We've gone just under 10 minutes to play here in the second half. Maple Grove leading by 3. They were up by 2 at halftime. Poos picks up the dribble. Now Dukley will give it back up top. Preston Tilke. Driving it at Ramadka, and he hits.
Kind of ran into a brick wall there, but he was able to gather, create a little bit of space, and he's got that great height at 6'5". And I think a really good score. I'd like to see him, look to score even more because he's very capable.
Crimson lead trimmed to 1. Keegan Harney almost turned it over there. Now into Ramadka, looking to go against Tilke as they bang inside. Couple of spin moves and off target.
And the difference there, they moved him off the block a little bit. He's about 6-7 feet away from the basket. That little jump hook is a little bit different.
Tilke slipped as he made that move and then threw the pass into the bench.
When we've seen him have success with that same move in the first half, a couple of nice spin moves into buckets and some nice passes. So just lost his footing a little bit.
Caden Harney taking over ball handling duties to bring it up a few times here. Give his brother a bit of a rest from that duty anyway. And looking to attack. A little crossover against Wagner. Cut off. Pretty good D there.
Yeah.
Now Keegan Harney on the run, no good. Telke wins the fight for the rebound.
And just good contest that time by Champlin Park.
Boost an open look and he hits. Boy, Tilke fell down again, but he got the pass away. Now an answer at the other end, though, for Keegan Harney.
Yeah, it was a great pass by Tilke, losing his balance, still got it over to Poost, who knocked down the big three. And before we could even finish saying that, Harney on the other end for an and one.
Plunkett will pick up the foul.
This second half, it seems like every time the Crimson lose that lead, they answer and get it back to 2, back to 3. Just back and forth. And that's one of those two where you're just better off for Plunkett. You either foul him so he cannot get that shot off, or you let him just have the 2 points. But the worst outcome, you don't want to give him 3, especially a really good free throw shooter.
And Harney does convert to give the Crimson the lead back. Timeout on the floor here with 8:24 to go. Maple Grove leading it by 1. Again, the winner goes to the state tournament. Already got Wayzata in from our area in Section 6, holding victory over Hopkins. Well, these teams used to be in different sections. Maple Grove winning Section 8 in 2021. Champlin Park won Section 5. Rebels were actually undefeated. This was played at a high school site over at Osseo. It was the year after the pandemic, but you see the mask still on. It wasn't over yet. And Maple Grove actually pulled off a bit of an upset there as they won it 70-61 over the Rebels, who were kind of the favorite coming in, maybe not even just to win that game, but maybe to win it all.
He was a really good player at number 5. I can't remember what his name was, but I remember this game vividly.
Play up good, and the Crimson, one of their strong wins.
And again, a team that I don't know if they had any superstars there, just really good talent and great coaching, good player. Coach Klepner coaching his butt off here. He's done a heck of a job this year as well with the Rebels. Oh, who's your March Madness pick this year, Jay? This is arguably at least my favorite time of year, this playoff basketball. You got the girls' state tournament going on, the boys about to start in state. March Madness coming, just a great time of year.
The Maple Grove girls seeded number 1 in 4A and easily won their quarterfinal, so they'll play in the semifinals Thursday evening.
And I got to believe they have as good a shot as anybody, obviously, to win that thing. That would be great for Coach Cook. And I just, the Crimson don't win a lot of state titles and things, so you hope it works out for them.
Keegan Harney, a nice move after the steal. A tough finish there, but he got it done. 3-point lead for Grove.
It's all about using his body, able to use that body and then alter the ball so it doesn't get blocked.
Tilke out to Plunkett, and that one bounces around and drops. The third time going to the court on a drive for Tilke. The last 2 have worked out just fine.
And Plunkett with 8 points came into the game, averaging 5, so really stepping up and just big shot after big shot. Champlin Park, they get down and they hit a big 3. And there's that steal. Harney's doing a great job getting out and running. And again, look at him contort that body and able to avoid getting it blocked. And that one looked good, and then it looked like it was going to rim out, and it goes down, all tied up.
Foul call was against Poost, by the way, on the hold out top. Keegan Harney, the drive, got it over to Caden Harney, and he hits. That one's a 3.
Yeah, and Keegan that time drove the baseline, did not step out of bounds, able to deliver to his brother, and he knocks down a big one there.
Poost is fouled by Keegan Harney. Aaron Klepner was halfway down the bench. The whistle came a little bit late. He thought they weren't going to call that.
You think he's fired up? You think he's into it? Poost giving him just a huge burst tonight, too. He's at 9 points. Almost got it to fall.
Misses on the free throw opportunity there.
And I'll tell you, those are big. I know there's still 7 minutes left. There's lots of possessions left, but these free throws, so often when games are decided by a point or a possession, you look back on, who made free throws, who missed free throws.
2-point lead for Maple Grove as we approach 7 minutes to play in this one. Dukley out on Harney. And looking to drive it down the lane, off the glass and good.
That long stride, he's able to keep that ball up high and away from the defender and just hang an extra half a second to get that shot off cleanly.
Tilke to Wagner, Caden Harney up in his jersey there. Plunkett has this one blocked by guess who? Knutson.
That's his 43rd block of the night.
It feels like it. Here's Caden Harney driving, no good. Ramadka then had it knocked away, but we'll get a foul on the Rebels as he tried to go back up with that one.
I think Maple Grove thought maybe there was a foul on that first shot attempt, but excellent job by Ramadka going after it and getting the foul. And that's going to be bonus here too. The rest of the way, the last 6.5 minutes for Maple Grove. Keep that in mind. That's going to be really big.
Gavin Walter coming back in with those 4 fouls with 6:23 to go.
Yeah, and I like that. I think his playmaking adds another dimension here for the Rebels. There's such an elite focus right now on Tyler Wagner that it's going to really help out to have Walter in there if he can make some plays, get into the basket.
Ramadka's free throw is good. He has 9 points now for the Crimson. Their lead is 5. Second one also good. 73-67 Crimson. Walter whipping it down low, and Poost is all alone.
Great play design. You got Wagner coming off of a double, and obviously you overhelp on that. And a nice slip and a great read that time by Walter to find him. Easy layup.
Keegan Harney the drive. Let's see. Offensive foul. Oh, wait a minute. It's going to be overruled. Rebels are furious. They're going to call it a defensive foul. They said he was inside that restricted arc. One official had it one way and one had it the other. Wagner will pick it up. Those are still tough calls, even with that little circle, which was kind of supposed to take away a little bit of that guesswork on that. But
Jay, when I saw that live, I thought it looked like a charge. When I saw that replay, it looked like Harney avoided the majority of the contact, almost went to the side of him. Yeah, hard to tell where their feet were, where his feet were.
And Keegan Harney again, excellent at the line. 6-point lead for Maple Grove.
Same play they ran time before and got an easy layup. Nice job, Maple Grove, adjusting to that.
Tilke bobble, but got it to Walter. Caden Harney has actually done a pretty good job on Wagner, it feels like, in the times that he's been on him. Might have been a travel there. Tilke steps right, though, and hits a 3.
He's been open a number of times tonight and has not taken that 3. That time, no hesitation whatsoever, and he buries it.
Rebels back within 3. They have not flinched when facing a deficit. And there's Keegan Harney, speaking about not flinching. Hits a long 3.
That's what you want. Your senior leader, your leading scorer, taking over down the stretch, hitting big shots. And got a good look there and just buried it.
Walter drives and dishes. Poost from the corner. That one is short. They keep it alive, though, and they'll get another crack as Tilke winds up with it. Cross to Plunkett, and there's Caden Harney with the steal.
Yeah, nice job just reading that pass, getting the interception.
Keegan Harney's pass deflected. He tried to go to Knutson. They got a piece of it.
And interesting, too, 4 minutes now, just a little bit over, Jay. 6-point lead. interested to see if the Crimson will try to take some time off the clock on these possessions. Take 15, 20 seconds, get it down, or they continue to just play free and take what the defense gives them.
Yeah, pre-shot clock, I would say they would have for sure. Maybe, let's see now. Oh, Walter a steal. Keegan Harney then gets it back, though, and now Caden Harney. Up and under move, and he missed. Knutson grabs the rebound. He'll kick it back out. And you've got a chance to go again.
Nice.
And stepping through and banks it in.
It looked like Ann was going to go out to make a pass to the three-point line. And Walter went for it, and then that extra long step, and Ann able to finish at the rim. Great move.
8-point game, 3:45 to go. Rebels not needing it everything right now, but they got to get it going. And there is Wagner hitting a three.
God, he just hit big shot, tough shot after tough shot, too. That was big. You're down 8. You missed that, and it's Maple Grove ball. You're looking at 3 minutes and maybe a 10-point lead instead. Big-time players make big-time plays in big games. It's another tough three.
And that's what Maple Grove talked about before the game, is not ever losing sight of him, even for just a split second, and they did there.
And that's tough when you're sprinting to your left like that, to stop and rise and hit it from 3-4 feet behind the three-point line. That's great offense.
Well, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, too. You didn't see any kind of hint of panic from Champlin Park. You know, you're in a section final and you fall down by 8 or 10 points. It can get stressful, but it hasn't really looked like it for them for the most part.
No, and I like that action that Champlin ran there. That was the first time they really ran an action, getting Tyler Wagner an open look like that. So good action. Now you got to get stops. It's going to come down to who can get a critical stop here these last 3.5 minutes.
Rebels will come with full court pressure here. They have committed 8 fouls. Maple Grove has committed 5 here in the half, so that's something to keep in mind in terms of getting to the free throw line. And we'll bring it up as the Rebels do not press, actually. Just showed it. And the drive and dish, Knutson, they rotated. Harney to Harney there. That one almost got away. Hesitation dribble, pull up baseline. Wow, Keegan Harney's got it all working tonight.
And a great pace. That slow to that explosion created about 5 feet of space, and then you're just knocking down a little 8-footer. Beautiful offense.
Tilke handing it to Jallo. Now Walter driving it baseline, goes to the reverse and scores. They thought they had him stopped enough that he wasn't going to keep the dribble going, but he did.
And really nice finish on the other side. Again, only a sophomore. He's going to be a guy we'll be watching here these next couple of years.
I told him he reminded me of a younger Tyler Wagner at practice, and he liked that. He thought it was a compliment, and I meant it as one. Back across, Knutson, a contested three, no good, and Tilke the rebound. Maybe not the shot they wanted there.
And maybe not at that time, right? A little bit. Oh, nice move.
Jallo finishes a tough drive. It's a three-point game.
Every time it seems like Maple Grove might inch away from it, Jay. Champlin Park just seems to keep answering and keep answering.
Under 2:10 to go. And, into traffic, knocked away from Ramadka. They were lucky to get that one back. Knutson taking an open three, no good. And Wagner up with it.
I was going to say, with that play, if they scored, that Ramadka tip to save that would have been absolutely monstrous.
Rebels, minute 45, they're down 3. A chance to tie here, though.
And you don't need a 3. You don't want to force a bad 3. If you can get a good 2 here.
Walter.
Nice play.
Here's Poost. And that one is blocked by Knutson. Rebels wanted a goaltend. And now a timeout taken by Maple Grove. Henry Knutson with another big block. And I think Klepner is asking for, I'm assuming, a goaltend.
Well, I mean, I unbelievable. Knutson with those blocks against the backboard tonight. He's closing from top of the lane and sliding down there. Just great defensive effort on his part this evening.
Watch him close this. Look at he comes all the way from the top of the key.
Yeah, not a goaltend for sure. Maybe it was a foul. I mean, that might be what he's asking about.
And it looked like Poos had nothing there, and I think it surprised him how fast Knutson came down. I watched Knutson literally take off from almost the three-point line and close on that. That's just a great hustle play. And again, right now, if you're Champlin Park, you're down 3. Minute 25 left. You can let them take this time down. You don't need to foul. Just get a stop. That's why that block might have been the play of the game right there. Because if they score, it's a 1-point game. It's a totally different deal here.
Yeah, I agree. The Rebels, you want to play good, hard D here, but you don't really need to gamble and you don't need to foul.
And especially number 4. You don't want to foul number 4.
They will inbound it to Keegan Harney. Poost will check him. Rebels kind of backing up and will play half-court D here.
And it's, like we talked about, Jay, it's going to come down to can the Rebels get a stop they have to have right now.
Gamble there. Ramadka attacks and finishes.
Yeah, I love it again. First play of the second half, they went down to him and executed right out of the timeout. Ramadka rewards them.
Here's Jallo, scores and the foul.
What a play.
Big answer for the Rebels and Jallo. The other thing for Maple Grove that hurts is that came so quick.
Yeah, very little time off the clock. How about, Walter driving baseline and just knowing where Jallo was going to be. That's just a beautiful pass and a great finish.
Too strong on the free throw, though, and Knutson up for the rebound.
And yet, here we are again. There's still about a 20-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. You do not have to foul, but you do have to get a stop.
3-point lead for Maple Grove. They have the ball now under 40 seconds to go. Keegan Harney pushed by Telke, and he'll go to the line. You know, the first little bump he was going to get away with, but then he pushed out.
And you can kind of tell him he was riding it out there. And I think that's the right call. And it's the wrong person that you want to get that called on because Harney, an excellent free throw shooter.
Hits it. Makes it a 2-possession game now at 85-81. Still time, but each time you go and trade, the time, things get tighter.
And to Champlin Park's credit tonight, Jay, every time it's looked like Maple Grove has this thing, Champlin Park has responded, and they're going to need it here. Down 5. And again, you still don't need a 3 quite yet, but you got to get a good and you got to get a quick shot here.
5-point lead for the Crimson as Poost will bring it to the front court. Tilke giving it over to Wagner. Caden Harney jumps out on him. Tough fadeaway here. It's short. Rebound Ramadka. And they'll throw it ahead to Caden Harney, and he's going to wait to be fouled. 16 seconds left. Not only did they get a stop, they got a good defensive rebound and outlet.
And they forced Tyler Wagner to take a really tough shot, which he, as we know, he's capable of making those. But great contest. And really, he had 18 points in the first half. A lot of those kind of in the early part of that first half. They've done a pretty good job on him the rest of the game, limiting someone to 28 points, but 10 here in the second half.
Caden Harney, also not a bad free throw shooter. He makes a couple big ones. 7-point lead for Maple Grove. They're closing in perhaps on a section title. 13 seconds to go. Coach Klepner calls timeout for Champlin Park.
Well, and I thought, too, one of the big adjustments, they put Caden Harney on Tyler Wagner the second half. And he didn't have the length that Babacar Ann has, but he has the physicality. And I think that bothered Tyler Wagner a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, and he did a great job of anticipating, beating him to spots and things, too, it felt like. I mean, he just played good, sound footwork defense as well.
And then, other than the one time in transition where Wagner got that wide open look, he has not had anything easy.
Well, we wondered, could Maple Grove keep scoring at this pace? And the answer has obviously been yes. They're approaching 90 points.
I had in my notes today, like if the game got into the 70s, Champlin's going to win. If it was, I thought if Maple Grove was going to win, maybe a high 60s to mid 60s, it was going to be a slower pace. But they've come out from, really the first possession tonight, shooting threes, playing fast, playing loose. And the key has been this second half defense.
See what Champlin Park draws up.
Hey, ready to play, let's go! Hey, don't touch it! Don't touch it!
Shot up and short there. Keegan Harney the rebound. And he will be fouled by Poost. And now Maple Grove, I think safe to say, going to be advancing to the state tournament. 6.3 to go.
Obviously Champlin Park's going to be very, very disappointed, but they had an excellent year. They were one of the top, I thought, 5 or 6 teams in the state all year long, and they had a lot of great wins. And tonight was as entertaining and as fun of basketball as I've watched all year long. Tough shots, the degree of difficulty on these shots, the offensive level that we saw tonight from both sides was excellent, and a really fun game to be a part of.
Wagner, a last long three that won't go, and Maple Grove is headed to state as Section 5 4A champion, as they will win this one tonight, 91-80 over the Rebels. Well, win number 301 comes shortly after win number 300 for Nick Schroeder. And the Crimson get it done on the road here, as we mentioned to start the night. First time not at a neutral site for this section for a very long time, as long as I can remember. And Maple Grove, obviously it's not a very far journey over here to Champlin Park. They got a lot of their fans that came with as well. And the second-seeded Crimson will pull out the victory, their 21st of the season, as after splitting the regular season series with the Rebels, they come up with a big victory on the road. We had some runs back and forth where there were, times when you looked like one team or the other kind of had taken command a little bit. And Champlin Park kept having an answer when they fell behind, but they didn't have a final answer at the end. And Maple Grove, these guys are pretty fired up. Quite a few of them were on a team that won the state 6A title in the fall, and they're going to have an opportunity to play for a 4A title in the next week, advancing into state tournament in Class 4A. That first round games, quarterfinal round games at the Target Center on Tuesday. And again, Champlin Park, man, what a season for the Rebels. Really a bounce back year. Have had a great program, hadn't been quite as strong these last few years. A young group that came together, and 23 victory season, as Ryan said. And pretty exciting game. We will take a quick timeout and come back here, as it's Maple Grove headed to state with the victory here tonight.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on, because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back here as Champlin Park getting their medals and second place trophy, and now Maple Grove receiving theirs. Ricardo Jones, the AD from the Crimson. Hard fought battle here tonight, and a 90-81 win for Maple Grove. We got that score corrected, by the way. They had done a great job all night on the scoreboard, and then just those last couple of free throws got a little mix up. So 90-81, Maple Grove is the final here this evening. They lost, of course, in the section final to Park Center a year ago, and coming back this year, it wasn't all smooth sailing, and obviously having those football guys come in late because of being in the prep bowl and everything probably slowed them a little bit, but I think the trade-off was well worth it, certainly for Maple Grove. What great contributions they got from those guys, and wouldn't be in the state basketball tournament without them, that's for sure. And just a well-played game here tonight. It was back and forth all the way. And Maple Grove answering our question to start the night, could they score with Champlin Park? Ryan and I both felt like if it was this high of a score, that certainly would favor the Rebels. But Maple Grove coming through with some clutch play. Keegan Harney, another big game with 29 and 24 for Babacar Ann. But again, besides just the big stars for both teams, we saw guys come through that, Christian Plunkett off the bench for Champlin Park, and for Maple Grove, I thought Caden Harney was outstanding here tonight as well, and got some big contributions from others as well. Berman played one of his better games, certainly had that good stretch. Caden Harney defensively, Henry Knutson defensively doing some really good things, even though, they end up giving up 81 points, but they definitely made some key plays at the defensive end to help out as well. So Maple Grove will find out on the weekend where they'll be seeded for state tournament. But first they get to do this, hoist that trophy. And come over that student section. Again, that's the nice thing, is if you do have to go on the road, it's just, 4 or 5 miles from Maple Grove over to here, and a pretty easy journey, especially since Highway 610 went in to get from the home of the Crimson here to the home of the Rebels. Also want to pass along a thanks, obviously, tonight, too, to the Champlin Park and Maple Grove Booster Clubs for helping us present live coverage of this Section 5 championship game here tonight. We really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a memorable game, a fun game. We knew coming in that this one had a chance to be a pretty good one, and I think it definitely lived up to billing. Obviously, that whatever team ends up losing is disappointed in that tonight. Unfortunately for the Rebels, is them, but really good season overall for them. And I thought, by and large, they played well tonight here, but just Maple Grove making some clutch plays at the end when it got close. You even get your principal to dive in for a little photo opportunity there for the Crimson. So not only do they have their girls in the semifinals, the boys now will be into the state tournament in Class 4A as well. Be the 10th trip to state for Maple Grove. See if that trophy escapes unscathed through that whole pile up there. Nathan Ramadka doing the honors, holding it right there. We will take a quick time out here, and Ryan will be hearing from a couple of Crimson players here in a moment. 90-81, Maple Grove headed to state with this Section 5 championship.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Champlin Park. The net cutting in progress here for Maple Grove. It's always a fun tradition. Kind of the only sport, I think, where you really get this tangible of a souvenir to be able to take the net down with you. I mean, you're probably not going to break the goalpost down at football very often or anything. Obviously, we see it sometimes at college games or whatnot, but let's go over now to Ryan. He's got a couple of happy Crimson players joining him.
Well, I'm with a couple of very happy Crimson here, state-bound in basketball after a big win tonight. Henry Knutz, I'm going to start with you. I mean, I was calling you Akeem Olajuwon during the broadcast. Your blocks were huge, none bigger than that last one that you got against the backboard there. How did you feel tonight, especially defensively?
I felt good, playing help defense is what I do, so I just saw a bunch of balls going up on the glass, so I just had to get them out of there. I
know you want to get back there and cut down that net. What does it mean to you to go to state?
I mean, it means everything. I've been dreaming of this since a kid, so, finally making it there is a dream come true.
Well, congrats. You played a huge role tonight defensively, and keep it up, all right? Nathan Ramadka, we've talked a lot about you and during the football season. I know that's your biggest sport, but you were huge here tonight, taking your team to state. How does that feel for basketball versus football, if there is a comparison?
I mean, you can't really compare either of the two. It's just a different atmosphere here in the section championship. It's the senior year. You want to make it as far as you possibly can. I don't want to stop playing. I don't want to stop wearing the Maple Grove jersey. So it means the world just to get to play again, to compete again. That's what I do it. Do it for the love of it.
Well, and I can tell you bring that great energy all the time. I thought two things really stood out. Second half, first play of the game, established the tone. They went to you inside. And then again, when they came back, you guys were up 10. They cut it back down. They went back to you inside, and you got two big buckets. Is that kind of like, hey, when we need to settle everything down, let's feed the big fella the ball?
Yeah, no, I try to just, when I get my opportunity down in the post, make the most of it. We got a lot of great shooters and playmakers on the outside, so when I get the ball, it's go time. Get it in the net right away. Just give it a little bit of juice, knowing we can light it up from the three-point line, but we can get down in the paint too.
Well, I'm going to let you go because I know you want to cut down that net, but congratulations on going to state again and a great high school career. Really awesome. Been fun to cover you.
Thank you, sir.
You bet, buddy. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and congratulations again to the Crimson, and best of luck. They'll be seated, as we said, over the weekend and then start play at the Target Center on Tuesday. We will be following Maple Grove, although not allowed to televise live in that quarterfinal round. We will have tape delayed coverage of their first game at state, as well as the Wayzata Trojans in the 4A field. And again, congratulations to Champlin Park. Outstanding season. It ends one game short of the state tournament. Thanks again to the booster clubs from Champlin Park and Maple Grove for helping us present live coverage tonight. Thanks to the coaches as well. You wouldn't meet two nicer guys than Aaron Klepner and Nick Schroeder. We appreciate their help as well. And for Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, MJ Wilcox, Maple Grove 90, Champlin Park 81, our final tonight in this Section 5 title game.